Hey, how we going? Checking in. Pantera pumping in the background. Great Southern Trendkiller album. Um, been into Pantera for a long time, ever since my teens, early 90s. A few other side projects that Pantera members had going. Down, Corrosion of Conformity. There's a few others there they've been a part of. The main one being Down and Pantera, Corrosion of Conformity that I followed. The reason for reminiscing, listening to some Pantera. I love all types of music, as many would probably know. I don't mind me hip hop and me Aussie music as well. Aussie hip hop, Aussie crawl, Screaming Jets. There's not much I won't listen to. There's always something about a certain band, certain type of music reflects your interests. Unusual one probably for most people, and if you grew up on it, Adam and the Ants, Queen, things like that. Travelling Wilburys, Roy Orbison, have quite a wide love of John Ray music. Anyway, so Pantera being one I hold pretty close, and the reason being for this video, is we have the Woolshed Brewing Great Southern Trendkiller Double Black IPA. So the can is quite similar to the album cover for Great Southern Trendkiller, and this one jumped out at me in the fridge there at Lambton Botlow for a particular reason. It was the likeness, the labels, that sort of caught my attention. So Woolshed is in similar font to Pantera across the top of that album cover. For those who listen to Pantera would know exactly what their font is like. So it's the big font, drop down on the P and the A, P at the beginning and A at the end, and they've done that with the Woolshed font on the can, and the brewery written across here is the same sort of font as the Great Southern Trendkiller. I don't know if you can see it there. It's actually printed just along the bottom of where the Pantera is written on that album, and then they've continued with that drop down enlarged G, enlarged R on the Great Southern Trendkiller font on the bottom of that can there. So that was the Great Southern Trendkiller playing just then. That's the second song starting now, War for Nerve, or War Nerve I should say. Can states, we do beer differently down south. Dark roasted malts straight into an aggressive hopping schedule that sees Simcoe, Chinook and Cascade hops punch you in the face with a vulgar display of power. So for those who know Pantera, who know what their album names are, Vulgar Display of Power is another album of theirs. I do hope these guys continue with the trend, pun intended, Great Southern Trendkiller. So yeah, so they got Chinook, Simcoe and Cascade hops in that beer. I've already cracked this one. I was going to do it as part of the video. I cracked it, I was going to do this last night, and then today the wife and kids have just ducked off to go and visit some friends. daughter's having a sleepover, so slipped my mind. Even though I only got it yesterday, it slipped my mind. They've gone, I've raced out, and I thought, yeah, I've got to try this. I've been hanging to try it. Poured it up and forgot that I was going to do a video on it. So anyway, without further ado, that's the beer. So your common upfront IPA aromas. It's a great colour. It's got good head, some really good cling there, some lacing. Can get a little bit of those, smell some of those roasty malts coming through. Definitely get those three hops, Simcoe, Chinook and Cascade, coming through on the nose. Taste. Wow. It's resinous. Those hops are coating the tongue quite well. Bitterness. The dark malts, the roasted malts and the hops. It's quite well rounded, it's quite good. Coat's got good, awesome mouthfeel. For a double black IPA, it's 7.2%, so it's 2.1 standard drinks in a can. They're exactly 2.1. 100 IBUs. Now, we had a bit of a debate on IBUs in some of the beers that are available, or high IBU beers that have been available. For some reason in the United States, they like to actually label their beers with the exact IBUs that they calculate. Some are well over 100 IBUs. Research and fact says that the human palate cannot distinguish any IBUs over 110. Most human palates will crap out at about 100. Some even lower than that. They just don't. It depends on how well your taste, your senses work. But the general population cannot taste anything over 100 IBUs. Some up to 110. I don't know how they test that sort of thing, but they've worked out that we just can't distinguish anything over 100, 110 at the most. So many breweries that will brew a beer that exceed 100 IBUs still only put 100 IBUs because it's fact, it's just technical, stuff that says that you can't distinguish that. Anyway, these guys hail from Merthyr, South Australia on Wilkinson Road. Quite well known. I'm really loving this can art. It just reflects that album cover so well. So yeah, quite a nice beer. Does everything that the can says it does. Not that it claims to do much. Straight out there, I think the appeal is all about the can, and it's many people who were within the black metal, punk metal scene around about the 1994, sort of 96 time. This I believe was the 7th of May 96, the release of that Great Southern Trendkiller album. Grew up around other bands. A little bit later on down the track, it was Rage Against the Machine, a few others, Sepultura, Nail Bomb, so forth. I'm really liking this beer. If you can find it, go out there and get it. Give it a go. Wow, just the aroma. Screams Cascadian, for those who are quite familiar with Cascadian, which is the black IPAs, double IPA, black double IPAs, double Cascadians. There's a lot of breweries merging away from calling them a Cascadian, double Cascadian. Personally, I think double black IPA is more appealing. There's this confusion with the Cascadian dark ales, Cascadian blacks, and kind of stuff like that. Anyway, I hope this audio has come through nicely. The music hasn't drowned it out too much. And cheers.